Hello, I'm Coach Natalie, and welcome to another episode of Jiu Jitsu for Dummies. Well, today we're going to be working on an escape from the turtle. We're going to be using a move called the half Granby. Now, the half Granby is actually a wrestling move invented, I guess, by a wrestling coach who worked out of Granby High School. So, if you'd like to Google a little bit more about that history, but the Granby is used a lot in wrestling, as I mentioned. A lot of jiu-jitsu players do use it. We use it to get out of a position we call the turtle. Now, the turtle is, as we've talked about, you're on your hands and knees. Now, you may be in the turtle for a variety of reasons. One could be that you tried to, do a shoot, your opponent sprawled, and, now you're on your hands and knees. Another reason why you might be on the what we call the turtle position is because you've been on your back and your opponent is just about to get past your guard. Now, under the IBJJF rules, if they pass your guard, they get 3 points. So, especially in a lot of high-level, brown and black belt matches where the points might be very close, if you notice that they're just about to turn over, get past your guard, you might turn over onto your hands and knees, and maybe they get an advantage or something, but you deny them those 3 points. That's very important. So, with the exception of a man named Edward Tullis, who loves the turtle position, has basically made his career out of the turtle position. Most people don't want to be in the turtle position. Like this, someone can get your back. It's just, it's a position you want to get out of. So, finding yourself in the turtle position, you may say, well, how can I, get to a better position? Well, we're going to use the half Granby roll to do that. So, I'm going to demonstrate without my dummy, Brock, and then we'll, show how we could apply this move. So, if I have my opponent behind me, I'm going to take my hand, I'm going to put it on the floor, get my shoulder on the floor, and then I can roll my legs, halfway, that's why it's called half Granby, until my legs are right in front of my partner, and then I could easily get them into my guard. But the half Granby looks like this. Again, I start with my arm. I'm going to roll it so that my back of my hand is on the floor. Then I'm going to roll my shoulder onto the floor. And it's kind of a sideways roll. Looks like this. Again. Now, we can do it from either side. Again, this arm closest to my partner is going to go on the floor. Then my shoulder is going to go on the floor. Now, there are a couple of mistakes that you want to avoid making. You, first of all, don't want to get too close to your partner before you start, because you might roll so close that you end up in their lap, and that's not what you want to do. A second mistake that you might make is rolling over the wrong shoulder. Now, in this case, you always want to use the shoulder that's closest to your partner. And the last mistake that people might make is when you're doing this, especially when you're just starting out, you may kick your partner in the face. Now, that's a very good reason why you might want to actually start with a dummy. And so, obviously, it doesn't matter if you kick your dummy in the face, but if you're actually practicing with a real person, I would say your partner should sit back a little bit, maybe even protect their face. So, now, what should you do if your opponent is kind of off to your side, or you're, more like facing them? You're going to be at a 90-degree angle. And instead of my hand, rolling to the side of me, I'm actually going to put my hand through my knees, and then it's more of a shoulder roll, forward roll. Again, I'm about 2 feet in front of my partner here. I'm a little offside Putting my hands between my knees. Again, a little off sides, not directly in front of them. About 2 feet in off their knee. Again, if you start too closely, you're going to land on your opponent. You don't want to land on your opponent. You want to land in front of your opponent. So then again, you can pull them into your guard. And we do cover a guard passing. Actually, that was the very last video I made. So again, if they're kind of in front of you, you're going to have your hand, but you're going to put it between your knees. And then, of course, once you get them into your guard, pull them into your guard. Then there's all sorts of, arm bars and triangles and all sorts of things you can do, once they're, of course, safely back in your guard. So, thank you for joining me for this episode of Jiu Jitsu for Dummies. Want to give a shout out to all the people who've recently subscribed to our channel. We're trying to spread the love, so that's the single most important thing you can do is if you find value in these episodes, share the link with a friend, and maybe we'll make a new member of the Jiu-Jitsu world. So I appreciate your support. Thank you again, and look forward to sharing another episode of Jiu Jitsu for Dummies with you next week.